Yes, hi, hello. So, I wanted to just send this quick message um, for those of us who are in the industry, the beauty industry, providing a service, those of us who are clients. Um, I've been seeing a lot of things. I've haven't spoke a lot publicly about some of the things that are upsetting to me and that are concerning to me. But I just got off of a video consultation with someone who um, said she was consulting about some extension work. And if anyone, I've talked a lot about this. Everyone knows me doing the Microloc extensions. There's a lot of things legally happening with that behind the scenes, but someone gave her a service that just it made my heart sink. And I keep seeing people asking for services from people who say they can do it and they don't know what they're doing, and they not only is it just not right, it's also it greatly impacts people sometimes in ways you don't even know. People have invested a lot of money. They are expecting a professional to be honest about what they can provide, and so she was given us extensions, Microloc extensions, which is something you'll hear more about my business connection with that legally. But they used do not use Bobby Boss or those synthetic hair to create a permanent style. They attacked the side. Everything was wrong, and it was just I was just like, I gotta get on here. And she's gone through a lot personally. I empathize with people's personal experiences. You know, I'm a social worker by profession, but I also feel like even if ever her life was perfect, the fact that she invested that and she trusted someone to get something done, and they used some synthetic option in a way that was not designed to be permanent and did not size properly, did not do anything properly, attached it, and then had her pay, took her money, and sent her on her way. If you're using something synthetic, something like that Bobby Boss kind of hair, the way that is designed does not mimic a real lock. It has a visual. It visually looks like a lock. It's temporary. It's designed to kind of give you that feel. A lot of people can be versatile with it. It's a whole other discussion about that company. But to attach that and then attempt to make that a permanent option, um, it wasn't a way to go. It was giving her a lot of problems. But it just if we're going to experiment on people, which if you're a creator, you can be in experimentation mode. Don't publicize it as something that you know absolutely how to do and the long-term effects, please, because it's heartbreaking to watch people break down, um, kind of go through this emotional thing. Like, I really want it, I want it. Now they got to figure out how to fix it, and I got to figure out how to go get it done. So when I did the video about what to look for when you're looking for Microloc extensions, I know, and I had to make peace with the fact that I created an option that didn't exist over 10 years ago. And I know that once you start publicizing things, people ask for it and people start to find ways to do it. And I kind of knew that was coming. But what I'm seeing is these things that just don't make sense. Like using, I don't recommend synthetic hair for a long-term solution. If you're doing some faux lock kind of look, a temporary look, you can use whatever you want. That's cool. But if you're trying to design something to be permanent, you really should invest in understanding how to make that like the long-term effects of that, how that's going to evolve over time, how that's going to integrate and assimilate with that person's hair. If you don't know, so if you're going to experiment with someone, you can say, hey, look, I'm playing around, maybe I'll do this for darn near nothing, because this is just a way that I'm being creative. Every human being has creativity. We can never take that from someone. No one owns someone else's mind. But if they're going to market something, and this goes for anything, And we're seeing this in the industry now. And I try not to get too much into that conversation because I, old videos, controversy, whatever. But I do always say be authentic in what you do. When you do something really well, you invest time. And I know I dropped a lot of money on learning other options of extensions that were out then, and trying and creating and finding ways to get what I wanted. And what I wanted was something that looked real, and that was um, being able to be viable, because my passion came from people who had hair loss or people who could not achieve it on their own without some assistance. So I wasn't, that concept is different than someone who's like, well, I just want to get somebody really long locks, and they're kind of they can play around with the faux and the synthetic hair and all those things. But there's some people that want this option to be permanent. They're like, no, I don't want to just test out the look. I literally, like, I want this to be something that helps me, that I can keep in for as long as I want, and with the option of cutting it and things like that. So I just wanted to kind of get on here, and I don't know I see some, hey, um watching this, but yeah, that's one thing. And I see it so like over so many years. And as I mentioned, those who follow me, there's some time that I took away from being on social media, and once I had my daughter, became a single mother, life happened. And many women can understand that when you got a whole bunch of disruption in your life, and things start happening in the market, and I had people showing me stuff and sending me stuff. But then when I, you know, started taking more clients and advertising more and more, I started seeing the results of that. People coming in, this is what somebody gave me. And I was just like, okay. So that technique is something that I used to experiment in the first couple of years of doing it. That's not viable. You're gonna get up. There's a lot of problems that come with slippage, a lot of attachment issues, and the hair does not evolve the same way. So there's a lot of time and investment. So if you're don't know how the extensions are gonna come out long term, and you're saying you're doing it, just understand there's probably going to be problems, but that just being honest and genuine, like I said, if you experiment and be clear with that, like, I don't really know what I'm just starting to do this. And for those who are in my training programs, that's the kind of support that I give. That's the kind of advanced technique training that is being launched, so that you can understand if you're reattaching or extending. And it's taking 12 years of research, trial and error, investing in money into courses, finding who's doing it. If there's no one doing it, finding who's doing something very similar and learning how to get that knowledge formally and providing that service. I think overall in the market, you can't control how people advertise themselves, how people say what they're doing. But I always tell people to use I love that word, discernment, but also to stop and think and really make sure that when they are investing in something significant, that they're taking their time, and that they're researching the person, because a lot of photos can look fabulous, and photos often do look fabulous. I tell people one of the things you look for is long term results with that person or with that style or whatever. And a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, what is it looking like? It's great to have a bunch of new stuff, but as we know, our hair doesn't stay that way forever. That hairstyle doesn't stay that way. And when locks are designed, and they should be designed to enhance over time, as time goes on, as they get more worn, as they mat, it should only enhance. You lay the foundation for it to evolve that way. If you're doing something that's only going to look good for a moment, but as your hair swells, or as environmental issues, that you're washing it, whatever's happening, start to deteriorate the whatever you're getting, then that is an issue. It should never be deteriorating over time. It should be enhancing over time and adding to it. So that's something that needs to be thought about when you're doing something, adding on artificially to something, that it mimics as closely as possible what that natural process would be like. And so a lot of people are, it's unraveling, it's doing something funky, because that Bobby Wood, God, that company drives me crazy. Um, I try not to be personal, but there's a lot of companies that are watching us than are not us, and watching what the trends are. And they trying to get the little guys. So, hey, I'd say Microloc extensions, a couple of people in these big companies are like, oh, that's a small fry. You know what I mean? And they go in and they swoop in and they see and they do whatever they think they know what they're doing. But that they're not understanding that that person or those people who were hands-on all those years know the intricate parts of the industry. They know intricate parts of the styling that matter that over time. So you're not getting something in that moment that looks good, but they understand how that process works. You can't mimic knowledge. You can't mimic skill. Imitate that. You really have to have that knowledge and that connection. So that pissed me off. I smile, I laugh a lot, but come on. I just want to say, come on, people. Like, I'm very, I try to be very clear. Like, I don't do X, Y, and Z. I have a referral for you. I don't color, but it's not my expertise. Certain areas I do not do. I specialize in certain areas, and you step into what you are really good at, and you make that shine. As I'm interacting more and more with my students all over the country and all over the world, I'm seeing, I'm hearing, and I'm just like, and there's a lot of disappointment from people. Almost everyone has some type of horror story. I can't see your comments, y'all. Sorry, I want to share it, but it's coming up as blank. See? Um, and and it's just like, I don't know why other people got into this business. I don't know if the people that got into this business have been clients before, but there are a lot of us who've been both, that that have been clients, have walked through this process, have known how emotional it was for us. Doesn't mean we're crying, boo-hoo, we're all sensitive. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that we take this seriously and we are dropping money. I spent my rent's worth of money to start my hair, and it was the best decision. And all these years to this day, I'm happy about that. But if it were any other way, like I tell people, I would have fallen apart. If I felt like I got scammed, there's a lot of scammers. There's a difference between you learning and you're honest and you don't do the best job, but you're really honest and transparent. And there's a difference between people going out and saying they know what they're doing and they're giving people garbage. And I don't know if it's because people don't want to invest or people think they know everything, but I would not want to act like I know how to do something and have that person walk around like, if you make a mistake, if something doesn't come out as good as it should, and you're really honest about that, you'd be surprised how people will work with you. People will be forgiving of you because your intention was not to scam them. But there's scammers everywhere. Like, my daughter plays Roblox, scammers. So there's like a bunch of people on YouTube and all around, just kind of like taking the opportunity, and they're doing these things. And that's the problem that I have. And that's why I say, like, I go between, listen, I talk a lot about feelings. I don't care if that makes people upset. That's what makes Jessica. That's what makes me. I'm a social worker, psychotherapist, natural hair person. It all comes together for me. That process was very emotional for me to go natural, and it was very emotional for me to lock my hair. And even though there were less options at the time when I started, again, I said, I'm going to be real, and I'm going to sound arrogant, but microloc extensions, at least in the area I was in, was a concept that I took out of my head. No one was doing it. And definitely not the Sister Locks company. They don't believe in extensions. I don't know what they're doing now. And so I was like, I had a vision about it being a certain way. But then you have legal stuff you got to protect. But still, people go out and they say, even big companies, like even Sister Locks, they're having that problem with people saying they're doing this service, and then they're not. People are feeling like they're getting scammed. I wish that people would stop and think about that. And it's better to invest in getting skills and doing it the right way and really growing and enhancing your business, and for people to do a little bit more due diligence on your end as well. And the biggest thing, and I don't care how flighty this sounds, but intuition. There's feelings. We are very we can be very in tune. And everybody talks about vibes, but there's a feeling sometimes, maybe I should wait, or no, this person knows what they're talking about, or I have a feeling that this is going to be this way or that way. But if I can say anything right now, is if do not use those Microloc extensions, which is a trademark issue. If you want to research, with my company in there, and you research, I'm sorry, if you don't use that for making permanent extensions, please, or anything like the faux anything. There's more advanced techniques. Also, yeah, no, I'm not going to be an advertisement for them. There's a whole other video when I talk about Microloc extensions. This one is just a little bit more of a passion video. I did this on the fly. Oh, I see you guys comments on Instagram. It's very important when it comes to permanent styles that the locks, no matter how much, Dateline Demon, no matter how much I want extensions, I refuse to pay someone who isn't dedicated to do them. Yes, that's a good, absolutely good point. And it doesn't mean like their whole life has to be extensions and like that's all. No, because there's so many other things we all do. But when someone is serious, like I see great extension. So let me flip that and not make this all. I see what they're usually like just regular lock extensions. I'm not going to, I have other things to say about what I see on the smaller ones. But the regular lock, I have so many people I see on my timeline and I'm loving it, liking it, commenting. They're doing a great job. It looks fabulous. And you can tell, that they put their heart, they're not doing it really quickly. They're not like rushing and giving you, they're like really proud of it. Yeah, I'll leave it there. But you definitely want people that are dedicated to what they're doing. And I think the point I was trying to make was also the why they do it. You're connecting with people that are doing things because they have a true, genuine gift and passion versus people who are trying to grab. Y'all on Instagram, y'all see it on my stomach. Except for those who are, I'm going to be real. Those who are trying to be opportunistic, grab a market demand and half ASS it so that they can get that money and act like they have that service to provide. That's happening a lot. My quote always is, be confident in your skills and what you offer. Because if you have a passion for doing some part of that business, that is what you should step in and shine and then learn and develop the skill for the next thing. Don't just, I had 10 people asking me about Microlocs or Microloc extensions. Let me just say I do it and let me make sure that I do it different from this other brand so I don't get sued. Like this, y'all getting it real. I might delete this because I'm going in a little bit. I'm trying not to, but that's happening and people aren't knowing that. And people are going in and thinking they're getting something and they're just getting, they don't realize that they've been now a victim of someone just grabbing their money to give them the service because they think they know what they're, yeah. I love y'all on Instagram. Hey, preach. Yes, enlightened purpose. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And I don't like to bash because work, I always feel work speaks for itself. That's how I linked up with my loctician. She did not a drop of advertisement. Her advertisement was her clients walking around the street. You're welcome, Facebook user. And that rings so powerful to me because you don't have to beg anyone or try to convince people. You would just be it naturally and people would see it. People would say, oh, you got your prize. You're welcome to Real Marine. And so, excuse me. All right, let's break this down. This is where I'm going to be real, Jessica, social worker / beautician. A lot of things that people are doing is because they feel threatened. They feel, so people are trying to sometimes add services, whatever it is, to try to keep pace. But they feel like maybe if you have something to offer that's really great and you're really confident in that, you're going to be okay. There's a pie big enough. There's no limit. There's no limit to services, to people, to money, to people wanting hair. It's never gonna run out. And I always say you don't have any real competition. None. You just have people that are right for you, and people that are right for what you are really good at, what you offer. Focus on what you are really good at and highlight that. Grow in what you want to be good at, and then get what you need so that you can be good at that. I think that people are moving around threatened, and I've seen it, and I've been quiet about a lot of things. I've watched a lot of things. I've been back in the YouTube, like, man, I got a lot more love, but then I knew a certain group would have an issue, and I was like, that's maybe is it because I'm doing extensions or reattachments or something they don't know how to do, but instead of just saying, well, disliking it or trying to talk bad about people who found another option to use, you could be really just comfortable in what you got. If you're comfortable and confident in what you do, there's no threat. I don't have to ever bash anything. I don't come out the gate bashing. I just come out the gate being, and coming out the gate saying. I stopped posting a lot about some of the extension stuff because I have some stuff up my sleeve and I wanted to make sure I handle some things legally. But that's a passion. I can't even stop that. It's like, you can tell when someone's invested in what they're doing, and they're coming up with all these ways, and they're not trying to just compete with someone. They're coming out genuinely with the gift and the talent, and they're like, I want to show the world, I want this option to be out there for people. I think people would like this, and I'm really proud of my skill doing this versus I'm trying to do this so I can get the upper hand, and I'm gonna make sure that people badmouth what you like. I see that a lot, and it's just so. And then I just don't I don't feed into it, but sometimes it comes out. It comes out a lot actually in conversation with people, in the share. They're like, they have so much to express, and me being who I am, I love to talk. I love to process emotion. I love to have real conversation, and it doesn't have to always be about bashing, but sometimes you have to tell the truth. And if you're people who are threatened do behaviors like trying to do things that they, trying to just pick up and do things just because they don't want to, they fear losing clients, or they fear being overshadowed by, instead of working to be their best. I wish I could see some of your guys' other comments on here, but that was one person today, but there's plenty of more stories I have with online consultations. My business structure is changing a whole lot. And I'm trying to not outsource, what do you call it? Duplicate myself, because a lot of this comes from my brain. So the innovation, when I see a need, and I'm like, I can figure out how to reattach that. I can figure out how to extend that. But I don't always teach every single technique, especially not in the past couple of years. I've greatly enhanced some of the technique, and I haven't done a formal training on some of the advanced techniques. You miss your hair sessions. My hair misses you. Are you planning to teach Microloc extensions? That's a good question. So I've realized, and Enlightened Purpose knows, Enlightened Purpose knows very well. When I came, the reason why some people don't even know me, well, I don't know who knows me or not. All right, let's just be 100%. Back in 2009, I filed an application with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for Microlocs. And we did a market search. There was one person who, at the same time, created a site, but she was a sister optician. And I kept going out and distributing this tool for another company worldwide. And that's when I watched it grow, the word grow. I kept filing. I spent a lot of money legally, and then it just couldn't happen. I was like, cool, it's okay, because I get it. I said I can make my mark in another way with this concept of being a viable alternative, providing innovative techniques that did not exist on the market. But I learned from that, protect legally. I have so many applications with the USPTO, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, because I have a patent as well. I had trademarks. I have 5 trademarks going in right now. I have a lot of processing. So a lot of things that I need to do before I start putting that proprietary information out on the market in a way like that. I used to teach my trainee. I had a assistant. She knows the old technique, so I'm not too concerned. But she did go and teach another salon she worked with. the old technique. But I felt like, you know what, things happen for a reason. I've refined it. I don't even use that technique anymore. That's not the most viable way. So before I go and train on it, I understand the market that we are in. I understand there are people doing all types of things right now with Microloc extension, jacking up hair. And before I train on it, these things are going to need to be in place. And that will happen because I cannot do it all. But I want to be the brain. I want to be the creator, but I cannot be the practitioner. So yeah. But that is something that's coming down the line. But I think a lot of these things really start with us individually. I say, like, I had to really work on releasing fear. Even to get to this point in my business and my courses, I had to do so much on myself because I was very sensitive. I was feeling very protective and like this is something I thought of. And then I said release that because I have to understand the market. But also you can make your impact and just continue to grow and do what you're doing. And I feel confident in what I'm doing. So that's why I want to help others create their business. I also want to help create. Lord, I want to help others create and protect and professionally formulate their business. I'm stumbling over my words because emotions mixed in there. My thoughts are racing. I do appreciate you guys listening. If there's anything you could take away with it, don't use Bobby Boss hair to create Microloc extensions for permanent. Please don't. What's another thing I see? I did see something else somebody done. And I was like, these are consultations that are videos that are calling me and I'm looking at. And I'm like, I just have to tell people to stop doing this. Okay. Or I just tell them, listen, this is a temporary thing. It might not look what you want it to look like. And I'm going to do it for $50 because this is what it's worth. Like, I'm not going to have you go and pay half, give me half your rent money for this. I wish I could see you guys' comments. I'll see it later. I might leave this up. I wasn't certain, but I definitely wanted to go live. I feel better. Thank you for listening. Oh, yeah, here's a little plug. If you want to join a free training tomorrow, this is not why I did this video. I did this video to complete the event, but I might as well plug the free training tomorrow. You go to onlinemicroloctraining.com, Microloc without the K. I've used the K in the past. People put the K. That's another thing. People put the K on thinking that, like, oh, it's different from Microloc with the C. Like, just stop. Like, it's just phonetically, if you were to go legal, like, it's anyway. So free Microloc with no K training.com. And oh wait, I'm sorry. No, online microloctraining.com. That's where you can register for the free 2021 New Year planning training. And it's for anyone. It's for the DIYers. It's for the people who are wanting to do this professionally, who want to add to what they already do. I try not to say, but I have a lot of people who already trained in other systems. Like most of my students have come from that, and they say that this enhances it. So I'm really glad that we can, just to say, my trainings are designed to complement and enhance your skills, and you can do many other things you want with it. So, but this one is it's a free one. I want to give people some skills and give some value for free. And then you also will learn about my program if you like to do it. And there's a little bonus that I add, and I also give you a free success planner. It really helps. Like I said, you don't have to be wanting to do this for a business. You can just literally say, I want to know how to do the skill for my hair, and that will be value for you. So I made it so that it translates to all of that. And that's online microloctraining.com, and that's at 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow in my Zoom room. It's not going to be broadcast anywhere else. You got to register. I tell you to register as soon as possible because I don't know if there's a time limit. Well, you probably could. Try to register as soon as possible because it's less than 24 hours. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Thanks for commenting. I don't know. I just can't bite my tongue on things sometimes. I try to be really positive. I am really positive. But, we are all made of different things. So I got to get some of the fire out. Bye, Instagram. Love you guys. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening.